haven't done anything like this before, so I'm a little awkward right now.
Don't worry. It's the first time I'm doing this for YouTube.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's rare that I'll actually do interviews like this. But like I'm used to doing interviews in general, so this is
Mhm.
uh, just happens at this
Gotcha.
point. So let's get started.
All right.
All right. So how is everybody today? I just like to introduce my co-star today. Would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
My name is Claire. I go by Claire Ann online, and I'm a acoustic pop singer-songwriter.
That's awesome. So what do you typically write about though?
I typically write about my own personal experiences or personal feelings. Most of my songs are really emotionally driven. I typically end up writing them out of extreme feelings. So when I'm feeling extremely upset or extremely happy, that's what I typically tend to write about.
That makes perfect sense. Honestly, same. Because when I was younger, I used to write lyrics just whenever I got bored, and it was always emotionally driven. So I could
Hmm.
definitely relate on that. What is your personal favorite song that you wrote?
Personal favorite right now, it would probably have to be Puppy Love, just because that's the most different that I've written. It's on a ukulele as opposed to everything else I usually write on guitar. So it also I wrote it. It's the only like kind of love song I've ever written, because the rest of them are about bad relationships, and this one was generally about a good one. So it's just different than anything else I have right now.
All right, so you're leaving the darkness.
So but yeah, that's the general idea.
I mean, hey, as long as it works, right?
Hmm.
Whatever happens in the end, it's all determined by what you could pull off.
Hmm.
So, honestly, obviously, everybody's gonna want to listen to your music, but let's save that for the end. Let's get to know
Okay.
you a bit, let's get to know you a little bit more. As you know that this is a
Yeah.
anime and video game channel. Obviously, I've been mixing in exercise and health also,
Hmm.
but I remember you told me you actually do enjoy anime.
I
What's some of your
do.
favorites?
My personal favorites, the one I've probably watched the longest and I have like the most memories with, is probably Fairy Tale. That was one that I started really young and I really love to this day.
Does that mean that every time you hear Lindsay Sterling, you start to cry?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's every Fairy Tale fan though. Like,
Oh,
there's
100%.
definitely been. Hmm?
100%. The moment Lindsay Sterling starts playing that one specific song, my mind just goes. I watch the entire series from start to finish, every single episode in under a second. Like I'll
There's
just watch the
definitely,
entire series start to finish in my head.
obviously, like I'm engaged and I'm getting married, so there's definitely been more than one joke about that, like the original Fairy Tale theme being the walk down the aisle song with my friends.
Go for it.
Get that joke.
It'll be a lot of fun. Do it.
It really would. We're talking about doing like one of the songs from Doom Eternal,
That's even funnier.
one of the which honestly, because we both really love that game.
I never actually played Doom, let alone the remake. I've got a lot of friends who do enjoy it quite a lot. It's just I'm not that big a fan of shooters, so I never got the chance. I never bothered to
Yeah.
purchase it. Essentially,
Yeah, I grew up on Halo, so like FPS are definitely something I quite enjoy. So when we started dating, he introduced me to Doom, obviously, and I was like, I have to play this, and now I'm working on getting through Doom Eternal right now, which has been a
nice.
ride because I have to play it on the lowest difficulty because I'm terrible at it.
It's okay. I play games without difficulty levels,
Mhm.
so you can only imagine. It's either hard, oblivious, or why did I ever start this?
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah, like if you actually look through the depths of my channel, you'll see me playing a lot of Dark Souls.
Hmm.
I
I heard
grew
the
up on
channel.
Maple Story. So I'm used to being that guy that just sits there pushing a button and everything just dies. Cause I don't know about you, but when they released the fourth class, I decided to make a marksman.
Oh, that's
I
great.
was ready. I was the most underpowered. Actually, I was the most overpowered for the least amount of what I was supposed to be at. Like I was
Yeah, same.
one-shotting bosses like it was a joke, but I had maybe a fraction of the power level I was supposed to at my level.
Oh no, I feel that. I play D&D with a bunch of min maxers, so
Don't
they
play
get the
D&D
gist.
with me. Don't. No, I always crit.
Oh, that's fun.
19
We're,
out of 20 rolls is a 20.
oh, that's
I
great.
always crit. You know how it is.
But
After a while, your hand just gets used to it and you could always roll the same.
mhm.
I can only do that with a D20.
Probably looping back to the original question, probably the other two top animes that I enjoy the most, that I have the most memories of is probably Attack on Titan, just because my sister and I used to wait for the whole season to come out and then binge watch it all at once in one night and have like a pizza night and hang out. Because my little sister is, if I say I'm like an anime nerd, my sister is 10 times worse. She has wall to wall My Hero Academia and Naruto posters. Like I'm not even kidding.
So I'm not sure if you realize this, but the final season of Attack on Titan just came out today.
I know, and we're probably gonna wait and watch it when all of the episodes have come out, which I'm really looking forward
Gotcha, April.
to.
Because knowing Attack on
So
Titan, it'll probably be about 20, 24 episodes.
yeah, that's usually about it. So it's kind of nice to be able to sit down at like 5 o'clock and watch till midnight and like talk about the theories we have behind the episodes and stuff. It's
Well,
just a
it's
good time.
actually the final season. They're not going to produce any more seasons after this.
Oh, that'll be fun. She probably already knows what's going to happen. My sister read all the manga for it like months and months ago.
Well, if you actually paid attention, it doesn't keep to the manga too much.
Hmm.
There's been a lot of differences between the two, but honestly, everybody loves the series so much they don't care.
It's kind of fun. In my personal opinion, I kind of find it fun when they're not quite lining up with the manga to the anime because then you can kind of enjoy both of them for different
Exactly.
reasons, and
It's
that way
like
you have
Full Metal
twice as much.
versus Full Metal Brotherhood.
Oh yeah,
I personally like the original better.
I'm so. I don't. I've watched both, and I can't. It's been such a long time. I really can't remember which one I enjoyed more. I should probably go back and rewatch it at some point.
I would if it wasn't for the other list of like 700 anime I have to watch.
That's a fair point. There's so many at this point. Like I
I've
still have to finish My
I've
Hero
easily killed
Academia.
1300. Easily killed 1300 different series.
Hmm.
My Hero
And
is really good.
I really liked. I didn't think it'd be something I'd be that into personally, but I got really into it with my sister. She got me into it. She's like, "You need to watch this. You need to sit down with me." So of course I sat down with her and we started watching it. And I really enjoy it. I'm
Yeah,
really
it's
looking
like
forward.
if Goku was combined with Naruto but didn't know how to hold back, so they decided to just break every bone in their body.
Oh my god, yeah.
Actually, no, that would be, yeah, Goku combined with Naruto. Naruto's belief system, Goku's fighting habit. And then what's her name? The nurse is literally just a sensu bean.
Hmm.
But like a sensu bean is the nurse on drugs, like on steroids. Like it's crazy. My Hero is definitely a great anime.
I think it's a good starter anime too because it really introduces like I want to say it's a good one that gets you really interested with the story wise because some people can really choke up on animation. Like for some of the older stuff, it can be kind of hard to watch for newbies just because it's so different. At least in my experience, people I've recommended anime.
Oh, I can't watch Saint Seiya.
I've always had a hard time with like the animation kind of styles of things like Elfen Lied or Elfen Lied, however that's
That
pronounced.
one was great.
It's a really great anime, but the animation style can kind of like trip
It's
you
a
up
little
if you're not.
iffy, but like once you get past episode 2, it starts to look crisp.
Hmm. It does. It really gets better. I'm trying to think of.
Dead Man
I'm
Wonderland.
trying to, oh my god, I forgot that was a sweet thing.
Yeah, I
I
wish they would
totally
finish
forgot
it.
that. I've seen all of it.
Everyone
Oh,
has.
It's
It caught
great.
up to the manga immediately.
So
The
I gotta
manga
wait for
got
content.
canceled. That's why there's no extra content.
God, that
It's
sucks.
literally caught up to the manga. That's why they ended it.
That sucks.
It really does, because it was a really great series.
It really was. It was a great watch.
It's
One
a
of those ones that's
great
kind of like,
starter anime for people who enjoy gore.
mm,
Hell, I think I watched it when I was like 14.
my aunt at one point asked me for my cousin. She's like, what anime should he watch? And he goes, I want to watch Attack on Titan. The kid's like 8 years old, and I'm like, don't. Mm-mm.
I would have said go for it.
Yeah, but when you have like family that doesn't even let them watch like Halo video games for the gore, that's not one of those ones I would recommend for like
Halo has
young.
gore.
Halo doesn't have gore, but Halo has blood spatter from enemies,
Yeah,
even
I
though
grew
it's
up on
neon.
GTA.
It was the one game my parents didn't let me play.
Oh, I wasn't allowed to. They just decided to do it anyway.
I
It's
can believe
like
that.
it was so funny because when I was a kid, my mom actually went to buy me San Andreas because let's be
Hmm.
honest, I was like 8 or 9 at the time. And the clerk is like, this is rated for mature audiences, 17 and up. So my mom didn't buy it.
Mm.
She came home like, where the hell's my San Andreas? She's like, they said it's not good for you. I was like, Ma, come to my room. I was playing Vice City.
Oh
It's
god.
this, but better. She's like, okay, I'll get it for you next time I go. I'm like, when's that? She said, I don't know. I'm like, why? Now keep in mind, San Andreas was the first Grand Theft Auto game you could actually swim in.
Oh yeah, because other time you just drowned. I first Grand Theft Auto game I ever played was GTA 1. I
I
think it
never
was one
saw
or
it.
two.
I never had access to it. I started with Vice City. I played Vice City. I enjoyed Vice City. I don't know what the hell this Chinatown thing you speak of is.
One of my friends had it when I was a kid, and we went over to her house and played.
I'm a generation hopper. So I started with the NES, had an
Hmm.
N64, a PS2, a Wii. I got a PS4 and a Switch. Because, now that I'm old enough to buy my own stuff, I got both.
Now you can just get whatever you want.
Exactly.
I just have an
Budget
Xbox and a
approving.
Wii right now.
Oh, I can't wait to get my PS5. It's
They look like
taunting
they're gonna be
me.
a lot of fun.
I've heard they are. I actually have a few friends that bought it right at the gate, and I'm really mad at them for not getting me one. They know I would have paid them too.
Yeah.
So it's upsetting. Like, I gotta wait for this. I actually walked into GameStop today, thought the manager that was there was the guy that I met last year who was the manager there. No, apparently he
Hmm.
moved districts and they both have a shaved head. So I'm over here like, all right,
Ah.
hey, One Punch Man looking guy. I treated that entire conversation like I thought it was him. So I was like, yo, how you been? How's your girlfriend? How's everything been treating you this year? He's like, great, good, and I hated this year. I'm like, why?
I mean, I think kind of everyone hated 2020. I mean,
I don't know
I,
what you're
I
on
at
about.
least know
2020 been my year. This year has been amazing
it's
for me.
been my year for some reasons and awful for other reasons. But all in all, it's been pretty okay. Like average.
No, this year has
I
been
mean,
God sent to me.
mhm, I
I've
feel
really just
that.
enjoyed
I mean,
it.
I've had some really good luck. Obviously, my relationship's gotten really great. We met, well, not met, but we started dating just as like in beginning of February, right before all the lockdown went in place, which was very
You guys
fun.
get locked down together, and that's how it sped up so quick.
Yes, yes, actually, that's exactly
Are
what
you
happened.
serious?
Yeah, because we were kind of like he was gonna go stay with some friends in down the hill from where we live. I was gonna say the town, but you don't know where that location wise is. But about a 45-minute drive from where we live. And he's like, hey, so we're all gonna be working on the startup project. Do you want to come and stay with us and like hang out for the 2 weeks? We have to quarantine and then we're going to be there for about 2 months. And I was kind of just like, because my work had shut down. And I was like, sure, why not?
Screw it.
And so everything went very quickly. And then we went to Monterey in October,
I don't know
beginning
what
of
that is.
October. It's just a seaside town
Oh, okay.
in California.
Yeah, I'm over in Jersey, so like all of California is unknown territory. The closest to
I
California I've ever been was Amish country in PA.
I honestly love it
Or
here.
maybe some parts of Mexico. That might have been closer.
I think that might have been closer.
I don't know. I was on the east coast of Mexico. So
I
like
feel
I
that.
have not gone west at all.
I, I've never left my state in my entire 19 years of existence.
And now we know how old you are.
Yeah, 19 and a half.
Ooh.
I've 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 never left my state, and that's kind of crazy because everyone I know has left or like traveled to another country, and I'm kind of just sitting here like I've never even been to like Tahoe.
Yikes.
So,
I mean, I don't blame most people for leaving California. I would want to run away from burning to death too.
oh yeah, I live in the mountain range, so it gets even worse where I live because I literally live in the middle of a forest.
So essentially, if it spreads, you're literally just gonna be like, all right, we gotta find a big ass truck tire. I'm gonna sit inside of it and see how far we could roll.
Oh, we have go equipment in the car. We have a plan to get out of the house if everything goes south
That's awesome.
fire wise. So we have like an actual like we have a plan because we have a bunch of cats. So we would have to
It's
get them
scary that you
insured.
have to, but that's awesome.
It's a good practice to have just having an emergency plan for pretty much anywhere you live because earthquakes, natural disasters can happen. Having either a bag with like non-perishable food and a phone brick chargeable
Oh
battery
yeah,
for your phone.
I got power banks. I got like 12 power banks. I got one that's
It,
solar, so I could literally just plug my phone in,
mhm,
leave it in the sunlight, it'll charge itself, or I could just charge that and then do the same thing.
yeah, it's just really I personally think it's good practice to have just for paranoid reasons.
Understandable. So I was wondering, what kind of source of income do you even have outside of the music you've been playing lately? Because you said you got laid off.
Um, right now I'm kind of just existing. We happen to live in a really great situation where we don't have any utilities or rent to pay, so we've
Sounds
been
nice.
pretty good. Things are going to be changing for me in January. So I'm going back to taking classes at my local community college, and I happen to be lucky enough to have an educational trust fund that also covers living expenses while in school.
Ooh,
So I'm going to be able to take advantage of that and be using that for a time being to go back and finish the degree I was wanting to take,
what are you trying to get?
an entrepreneurship degree, because I wanted
Makes
something
perfect
that
sense.
could relate to my music and I could use in that sense, and also that would translate well into other things.
I think we're gonna have a great conversation after we finish all this. Because honestly, entrepreneurial stuff is definitely the best way to live your life. But I don't want to get into that too much on here just because, let's be honest, it's YouTube. There's no reason
Yeah,
to.
absolutely. I feel that.
Definitely. How does he feel about that though? Because entrepreneurs usually work hand in hand. You can't be one and then not your partner.
um, well, my partner's name is his name's Ethan, and he's getting his degree in computer science with a specialization in I think cybersecurity. So
That's
he's going to be
awesome.
potentially wants to be a system administrator for a server farm or things like that for a company is what he wants to do, and he actually has a job in his field right now, which is really great. And so he's really supportive of what I want to do in my endeavors with my music and things like that, while he also has the stuff he wants to do. And he's worked on independent projects for his friends and stuff with a startup. So I don't know much about it, but we,
I
we,
mean,
we
hey,
both have
that's
kind of
awesome either way.
projects.
You guys are trying to do some Silicon. Well, he's trying to do some Silicon Valley type stuff.
Actually, that's exactly true because we all watched the show together. Him,
I've
the two
never
of us
seen
and the
it.
guys. It's really good. It's really good.
Is it? I'll have to
It
check it
really
out one
is.
day. I usually stick to either anime or superheroes. So like I've seen
Mhm.
almost every Marvel. I've seen every Marvel series. Had to catch
I've
myself
seen
there.
every Marvel movie.
I've done that too, except for Hulk. I've never watched Hulk because Hulk doesn't really matter.
I think I have seen it, but I haven't rewatched it in a long time. Also, because Marvel pretends that movie just doesn't exist.
Even though it's the start of the entire line. It really doesn't matter though. Like you could get the entire series without watching Hulk and be fine.
Absolutely, because they kind of redid the origin story. Everyone knows Hulk's origin
12
story,
times. Yeah, it's
and
like I
also
fell in
it's not the
acid
same actor.
during a big explosion and now I'm angry.
Mhm.
I like how they finally added in Smart Hulk.
Yes.
That was definitely a risk they took because let's be honest, a lot of people don't like Smart Hulk just because he's sassy, but they gave him the friendly personality instead. So they did the
Yeah.
actual 50-50 Hulk instead of the I'm a smart jackass Hulk.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The last two movies were really good. I'm excited to see where they're going, what they're doing moving forward with the MCU.
I'm just upset we got to wait like 2 years for that.
Yeah, but it's gonna be good when we finally get it.
I mean, I'm
Some
still
of it's
waiting for
kind of.
Fast and Furious 9. It's been a whole year of delay. I've seen all the DC series. I've not seen the movies because let's be honest, the only movies worth watching for DC are Green Lantern, Wonder Woman,
Hmm.
waiting on a Flash movie.
The Flash series was really good, and I
It
really hope they keep
is.
the actor if they make a movie because he does a really great job.
He's the only Flash, let's be honest. At least with Marvel, they'll keep the characters between the series and the movies.
Yeah,
Like they'll use the exact same
absolutely.
actors. But for DC, they decide to switch it up every time, and it irks the living hell out of me.
If they can't keep consistency, and it kind of turns some fans off to it, in my personal opinion.
Well, that's why Marvel's the better company.
Exactly.
Because they're
Marvel just
consistent with
happens.
their stuff.
I think part of that too is the fact that Marvel has the infrastructure and financial um, assets because they're associated with Disney now to pay for the expensive actors to continue out throughout the series for
That's
to
true, but
continue fan engagement.
DC's been with Warner for decades.
They have, but I just don't think that the people at Warner haven't really been putting a lot of energy into making a cinematic universe for DC. That hasn't really been a main focus like it has been for Marvel. And DC as well has a hard time keeping actors. They've never had actor consistency. I mean, how many renditions of Batman have we had at this point?
At this point, I don't even care because I watched Green Lantern turn into Deadpool. The best part is they even threw in the Easter egg where the Green Lantern selfie of him came out of his wallet.
Huh?
That was
Deadpool
the
2,
best
he
thing ever.
goes back and time travels and, kills old Ryan Reynolds before he got accepted for Green Lantern. So
Yeah, I remember
Ryan
that.
Reynolds knows how to take a piss out of himself.
Oh god, I love Ryan Reynolds.
He's great.
I mean, in the comic books, they actually wrote it in. If I ever get a movie, I want Ryan Reynolds to play me. That's actually a thing that they did for the comic books for Deadpool.
That's great.
It was. I wish I could see it again. I mean, hey, Stanley's daughter took over. She's making some kind of Squirrel Girl comic. I'm trying to see what's gonna happen with all this.
Mhm.
Like we had enough Squirrel Girls when it came to fighting games. Now we're gonna get one in the comic book universe. So let's see how this goes. One
Yeah,
that's
I'm
not
excited to
DC.
see.
But will it be canon?
That's the question.
That's always the question. So, uh, who's your favorite anime character?
My favorite anime character. Oh God. I have to think about that for a second. There are so
People
many.
usually do.
I actually have two, and it's because it's a ship, and I absolutely have to. It's Levy and Gagio from Fairy Tale, hands down.
Oh my god. I 3D printed a dice box with them
Hmm.
kissing on it.
Aw, that's so cute.
It is. I'm so glad I found it. I can't make designs. It's a living hell. I'm more likely to be able to draw it than I actually create it on a computer, which is
And I
kind
get
of
that.
sad. I mean, hey, someone made it. They made a good job, and it's finally at the point where I've loosened up the plastic to the point where I could just click it in, click it out, click it in, click it out.
Hmm.
Because at first it was so stiff, I had to use a screwdriver to pry it open.
Yeah, my bangs do not want to stay out of my face.
I always just tuck it behind my ear.
I just got my hair cut. They're not long enough to do that right now, unfortunately.
See, now all I have is the top. It just looks like I have a full side. Like my head just looks like a full head of hair right now. Nope. Really convenient when you have surfer hair only on the top. Comes in handy sometimes.
I'm sure it does.
I mean, hey, if I do this and put on a robe and had like my beard grown in, now you know why they call me Otaku Jesus. So, what else would you like to tell us about you?
Um, I always suck at this question. Uh, I really don't have a ton to talk about. I mean, I'm terrible at talking about myself. I'm better with direct questions, if I'm gonna be honest.
Relatable. How about this? If you were trying to see if anybody here wanted to watch or listen to one of your songs, music videos, whatever you'd like to call it,
Mhm.
which one would you recommend they start with?
I would probably recommend they started with either Heights or Puppy Love because right now those are my two most popular songs. I'm Heights is more if you're one looking at for a good example of what I do guitar wise and the sound I typically end up with. And Puppy Love is a great example of stuff I want to be working on in the future, which is with the ukulele, with that kind of more upbeat, peppy tone to it. That's more falling into the line of like um, more alternative acoustic pop, which is where I want to start leaning to alt pop as opposed to just acoustic pop, which is kind of hard to do when you're just using an acoustic guitar because you kind of get lumped into the folk category a lot just because of the instrument you're playing, which is kind of
Understandable.
frustrating. But those are the two songs I'd recommend people, and those are the ones I'd try to push people towards more or less because I both enjoy both of those songs a lot, and I put a lot of energy into them, and also just because they're, in my personal opinion, the best examples of what I do.
Would you like to sing either one right now?
Um, I don't have my music in front of me. If you'd like me to sing a song, I can do that, but I don't have the music
Go
prepared
for
right.
it. You know what? If you're gonna go off of nothing written, why don't you try making a song right now about anime? Let's go.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. Hold on, I'm gonna unplug my headphones.
Come on,
Just
just Twizzy Ramos the living hell out of it. Can you
Can you
still hear
still
me?
hear me? I can
I
still
can
hear
hear
you.
you. Perfect. So just Twizzy Ramos the living hell out of it. Who, by the way, I am working on getting one of these interviews with. We've already discussed it. I'm just waiting to find a time where our schedules line up for it.
Hmm.
Do you know who that is?
I haven't heard of them I don't know their name off the top of my head.
Twizzy Ramos. He's an anime rapper from Canada.
Oh, it's
He
awesome.
actually does a lot of cons. All right, let's get this going.
I think I'm just gonna play one that I've played before for people, and that is kind of a crowd favorite, which is "Riptide" by Vance Joy, because a lot of people know it, and it's a really common song, and I actually one of my favorites personally to sing.
Just make sure you mix it up a little bit so that we don't get no copyrights.
It should be fine. I haven't on my own video posted on my YouTube of playing this song, and there's no copyright strike on it so far. So.
We pray.
to stand tall. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. Oh, all my friends are turning green. Yeah, the magician's assistant in their dreams. Oh, ooh, ooh. God damn it. One of my things popped up in the middle of that. Can you still hear me?
I was able to hear you, and sounds great. I say we leave the rest of that for people who actually want to go straight to your channels.
Gotcha.
That way
Sorry, I
we
had
don't have to. No, it's fine. That way we don't have to worry about you, giving away too much of the goods.
I think it's all right.
It
I
sounded
really
great.
enjoyed talking.
Huh?
I've really enjoyed talking. It's nice to actually like interface with somebody because we're all kind of stuck at home in quarantine and by ourselves. So
Speak for yourself. I still have a job.
I feel that I still have things that I'm doing. Like I have online D&D that I do with my friends and stuff like that, which was actually scheduled for like an hour from now. So I'm pretty,
I got a pre-made character I gotta hop in with. I promise everybody's gonna regret letting me join.
I don't think right now we're really looking for many more people. We're kind of keeping it closed group at the moment just because, one, all of our group members are really close friends. And we talk about a lot of really inappropriate, like it's like a group therapy session as well as like D&D.
Isn't that what D&D is?
And I'm not really sure.
Isn't that what D&D is in general?
It kind of is, yeah. Also, I don't think our DM's internet connection can freaking handle it. He's already dying with 3 of us on there.
Damn, there's only 3 of you?
Oh, yeah, we're a 4-person group. There's not a lot of us,
Yikes.
including DM.
Wait, what do you mean
So,
your DM's internet can't handle it?
Because he's the one who hosts the call, so all of
On
it routes
where?
through him. We do it on Discord.
I
His
think
in-
that's Discord. That might just be Discord.
Oh no, he's on like dial-up pretty much.
Ooh.
Where we
Who is
live, it
this?
is either you have radio internet from one of the local providers, or you have dial-up from a local provider like AT&T. So it just sucks.
So y'all are
We're
in the
lucky enough
mountains
to
for
have.
real.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're lucky enough to have a point-to-point wireless connection, and that's just because my dad works for the company that provides it up here. So I was able to be like, does our house get it? Install it.
Makes sense. I would have probably done the same. Yeah, luckily over here we got fiber optic.
Oh, that's great. Hopefully,
Been
we're going
handy.
to be moving in 6 months. So hopefully wherever we go has fiber optic. I hope so.
I mean, you could check that ahead of time.
It should be. We're going to be moving to a major city. So wherever
Well, it's
we
not
end
even
up,
that.
because we're.
You could actually type in the address of the house or the town to the company that you're planning to get fiber optic with. Or you could just call them
I
and
can check.
ask if that location gets it.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I hated it. I used to sell Verizon Fios a few years ago.
Oh, that's great. So you know all the secrets.
No, I knew a couple secrets. I know you could check if it works where you live. Like if you go to Verizon's website, it'll actually have a key in there where you could check if your address works.
Yeah.
Or at least it did like 7 years ago.
Well, hopefully it still does. That'd be really nice to be able to get that kind of connection.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize, but I've got a good 6.5 years on you. It's like I'm about to be 26 in a couple months, so like I've got a few years on you. So we've heard about your fiance. Is he there? You want to introduce him to the fans?
He's not actually here right now. He's over in our room on the other side of the property, but he's really sweet. He's 22 and he's a really great computer engineer that we used to actually work together. That's how we met.
It's usually how that goes.
We used to work at an local internet company that my dad still works for, because I was the receptionist there and he was one of the tech guys in the back. So, and then we reconnected a few years later, which is really great.
That's awesome. So you started working young then?
Started working when I was 16.
Yeah, very young.
I had a good opportunity to work at the same place my dad was working, which was really nice because he could drive me to work and things like that. And then I just kind of kept working because having financial independence was really nice as a teenager.
To an
And then once I
extent,
turned
yeah.
18, I got my own car and things like that. So it was really nice to be, I liked starting to work young, because I know a lot of people don't like that. But me personally, I had a lot of drive to do so. So I enjoyed, starting my resume early.
I'm one of those people, I want to get to the point where I could throw my resume in the fire and watch it burn because I don't need it anymore.
See, that'd be nice. That's the point I want to get to with my music stuff, because like my goals with it aren't necessarily like I want to be famous. It's more along the lines of I like to be able to put enough energy into it for it to be able to be an income, like an actual viable income just to live off of. Not that I need to be some like Katy Perry or Beyonce level person, just enough to where I can live my life off of it and then do what I enjoy without having to worry about anything.
So you want it to just turn into some meek residual income is what you're saying?
Not necessarily residual, because I like actively doing it, but I'd like it to be enough that I could live comfortably off of it.
Understandable. Yeah,
Because
I don't blame you.
I don't need like I'm not great at being like a in front of people person. Like I put myself out there a lot and I struggle a lot with that, because the more you put yourself out there, the more nasty comments you get. That's just how it works.
I know. Been
And
on YouTube for, I think, since 2019.
mhm.
I know. I got one video on here that's got probably about 70 or 80,000 views and like 5,000 dislikes and like 3 likes.
Mm, that sucks.
Oh, no, it gets worse. I'll constantly see messages like, go kill yourself. I'm like, damn, I get it. I got the date wrong, but like, still, it was for Log Horizon Season 3.
Hmm. People are really
Yeah.
nasty.
Well, the
It's
thing
and that's
is, I had found a confirmed date that became unconfirmed after.
oh.
And then it just fell through, and people are still to this day commenting, like, yo, it's 2020. When is this coming out? And I'm just here like,
You're like, my job is just to deliver the information I think I found that is correct. It is not confirmed 100% that it is all going to be
The thing
correct.
is, back then it was, but
Hmm.
something went wrong, and then it became unconfirmed, and then it just fell through.
Yeah.
We're talking about like,
No, I get that.
shit, maybe like 2016?
I get messages a lot from people who, and this is probably just being a woman on the internet, very explicitly sexual things that aren't really appropriate
Sounds about right.
most of the time. And you gotta, it gets to the point where it's kind of just like, I just keep blocking people, and it gets to that point where it's constant pretty much with
Hmm.
comments. And it's those kind of people where you politely are like, no, thank you, not interested. And then they get immediately turned to like nasty personal attacks after being rejected, which I think is just an internet culture thing, because anonymity online has caused a lot of people to say things they wouldn't say to someone in person.
Which is ironic since half of them have a very easily trackable IP address. By the
Oh,
way, I know when you say shit, guys. I'm in the IT industry for years. I know when you say shit.
exactly. No, it's fun because, and I checked to make sure that this was legal before I used to joke about it, and I still do joke about it occasionally, is where you jokingly tell them that you're going to reverse search their IP address. Because it's really not that hard to do if you know what you're doing. And
Well, that, and I also have connections in multiple branches of the military who will happily do it just to mess with people.
absolutely, it's a fun time. It's a great time.
Oh yeah, the military, they love being dickheads. Let's be honest, they'll admit it too.
Oh, absolutely. I have 2 veterans in my family, and they will absolutely confirm.
one of my best friends is in the army, and it's just like, who did what to the whose sister, uncle, daddy's sister? What? Can we acknowledge that was a double sister? And the uncle's daddy. Like, that didn't work. Alabama. But all jokes aside, yeah. It's funny though, because my buddy in the army actually, he's originally from Germany, and he has a
Mhm.
toothbrush mustache.
Oh,
And he got like a rat mouth, so it makes things hilarious. Every time I see him, I'm
oh my
like, yo, the rat is Hitler? What?
god.
And it's funny because he's in the US Army, and like he's
Mhm.
super Americanized. And it's just
Yeah.
really funny to mess with him because he knows he has that face and he doesn't
Yeah.
want to do anything about that. I'm like, dude, just grow out the rest or shave it off. He's like, but I like how this looks. I'm like, but the world doesn't.
Absolutely. I probably got to get going here in a minute because I have some stuff I have to do for D&D, but I've
Yeah,
got.
that's perfectly fine.
I really appreciated coming on here and talking with you today. That was really a great opportunity. I appreciate it a lot.
No worries. I mean, hey, maybe again in the future. We'll see what happens. And
Absolutely. I think that.
yeah, I should have this uploaded probably today, and we'll
Oh,
see what happens with it. There's
all
not
right,
much
cool.
editing to do. I'm just gonna cut off the first like 10 minutes because it was just
Mhm.
us getting things ready.
Absolutely, yeah. And let me know if you need any links or anything for the description or anything. I can send them over to you.
Definitely feel free to send the links to your YouTube channel, your
Mhm.
Instagram's direct link, and your favorite songs link.
Okay. Is Spotify all right? So I have
That's
a
fine.
page.
If you got a
Cool.
Spotify page, send the page.
I'll send you over the page. That's perfect. Because I've
Perfect.
got that. It's all on there for the the top songs and all that.
Sounds good.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you.
Have a great day, and we'll discuss the entrepreneurial stuff in a bit.
Great. Have a
Sounds
great
good.
rest of your day, hon.
Likewise. Bye.